Hello, I am live, and I wanted to wave my flag today in memory of September 11th and all of the stuff that our country is going through these days, and just let everyone know I am patriotic. I love my country. I am so thankful for our country, and I'm praying for our country. So much stuff is going on right now, and we need prayer. So I'm praying for my country and thankful for this country and the life that I have had here. And yeah, just trying to encourage other people to do the same. So hello, everyone. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Meredith. Thank you for coming. I'm a few minutes early because we have some things coming up today, and I wanted to just come on, and I might not be as long as I normally am on Saturday, but I just wanted to say hello to everyone and share some VIPKid stories and share what's going on with OUTSCHOOL and what I'm doing with that. So this is my standard little thing that I'm hoping to use for my lives, and I use Cam Twist, so I can move this around and I can place it in different places. And I am also using my iPad. Some of you may know how I am doing my kind of my little box here. It works so well, and I encourage you guys, if you have an iPad, to try it because it is really awesome. So you set up Cam Twist on your computer, and then you hardwire your iPad, and so everything on my iPad goes right in that box. So I can use this for rewards. I can show the kids pictures. I can also like switch the video source so I can make myself small. So this will come in handy for teaching classes if you have to show the student something. And you can also use this other camera. So like say you want to show something to your students. So you could press the camera feature. Oh my goodness. Whoops. So now you can see me over here. So like if I wanted to show a knitting thing, I'm sort of getting used to where the camera is, but I can show my hands closer like this, or I could like move it down like this or something like that. So I've used this with my phone. So you could hook up your phone the same way, and then you can use it for like say you're cooking. You can also use, you've seen other people with the little, I can't find it at the moment. It's like a little arm thing that you can hook to the table, and you can hook up your phone to it. So you can use a camera that way. So it's really cool. I really love it. And it's very easy once you set it up. And I learned how to do this from the people on the Stars to Apples web Facebook group. And they had someone who showed that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that works for me. And I don't know why it just clicked. So if you are interested in trying that, let me know. If you have any questions, I'd be willing to help you. So what you have to do is you go to camtwiststudio.com, you download that to your computer, and it's free. And then you set up a PIP webcam in the Cam Twist settings. And so now whenever I go into my computer, I click on Cam Twist first, and then I set up my settings, and then I always have my iPad there available. And it worked out great. It works out great when I want to show the kids like photos like of anything that I put in the box will come. I wanted to show you guys my class today. Oh my goodness. I had the most difficult class ever today. I'll show you in big. This kid gets on the camera. He's like crying. Both of his parents were there, so I could hear them talking, but they weren't talking to me. I was like, do you know English? So I didn't know what to do, if I should just like go through the class or what I should do. So I put on this colorful wig, and I tried to get the kid's attention, but he wasn't even looking at me. He was just crying at his parents. So I stuck the wig on. I tried everything. I tried everything and he was not even looking at me. So the parents shut off the camera. And so I thought, I don't want to just waste my time, you know. So, oh, this was funny too, because this was the, I had like this picture of a sloth and it was the feelings unit. And I'm like, surely he'll laugh at this. But he wasn't having any of it. So the parents turned it off, and I didn't know if they were going to come back. So since I have my iPad right next to me, I went ahead and I went to the VIPKid app and I turned on my iPad next to me. And then I went ahead and I did some stuff on my computer. Hello, Mindy. Hello, Luann. And I was doing stuff on my computer. I was setting up my live for today. And like while I was doing something else, I noticed the kid showed up. So I quickly switched to my iPad, and we actually had a good lesson, like the last, I don't know, 8 minutes of the class. And I went a little bit over because I wanted him to leave happy. And so it was a success. And the kid was so smart. Like he could read. He was a level 1, or no, it was a level 2. He was doing my feelings, and he could read. He could do the phonics. He had no problem with the the material. He just didn't want to do the class. Thank you, Mindy. And so it was really tough, but the last 10 minutes went good. I felt bad that I had a class after. I had to switch over real quick. And then I went to one of my regulars, and he was not participating very well, but we did it. So I just loved this sloth. So this was the my feelings, and I just wanted to show everyone that it was just a really hard class. So hello, are you happy today? So I can use Google Slides with this. I can use Stars to Apple with this. I can use anything I put on my iPad goes in that little box. So I really want to do in Google Slides, they have the Candyland game. I want to try that. I haven't tried that yet. So VIPKid, I had 4 classes today and it was good. I was going to open up an earlier short notice and I said, forget it. I'm just going to take the only 4. And I've started to kind of cut down a little bit of the VIPKid just because everything else in my life is crazy. So yeah, so I'm doing 4 to 5 classes every day. And this Sunday, I actually have off. So my student that's level 7 that books usually on a Sunday, he booked earlier in the week. So I said, well, I'm just taking Sunday off then. So yeah, so I'm going to, I just wanted to do a quick, I just have to send a message for a second. So I just wanted to do a quick update and then I'm going to be done. But I wanted to share with you guys some classes that I'm actually going to do for OUTSCHOOL. So OUTSCHOOL, I had a parent that messaged me and she wanted me to do finger knitting. And so I made up this class, finger knitting. So I'm going to be doing that. And this is for younger kids. And it's my first class with 5 kids. So I'm excited about that. And then I also have a class that I'm doing about the bread machine. That will be 2 classes. And that's going to be about the bread machine. And I'm also hoping that I can do this in the Your Teachable Moments forum. I'm going to just use the same material for the Your Teachable Moments. And then I also am going to do if I can find it. Okay. I'm also going to do a bread making class. I'm trying to find the thing that I made for it. Okay, so I want to do the bread making class also, and this will be an ongoing class. And I'm going to start with making bread dough, and then we're going to go on to make like cinnamon rolls and other types of breads. And this will be ongoing. So hopefully I'll get some students for this type of thing. My biggest thing with OUTSCHOOL is trying to figure out when to do the classes. So I was putting some questions out, and I really liked Rebecca F's suggestions, and I might do that. Just put a whole bunch of sections out, and then I just thought I might just cancel a few. Like if I can get one a day with 5 students, that would be great, you know. But I figured if I put out a lot of them, then I can work with the classes that are like, say I get 4 students for bread making, I will cancel the other classes for that day. And so I figured I'm going to make a few different classes and kind of put them out there and see what people do. Now, this bread making class, I'm hoping also to do with the Your Teachable Moments as well. So I'm not sure what times for Your Teachable Moments. I'm thinking those might be better like evening classes. So maybe you guys could give me suggestions on that. I'm thinking that, you know, kids are more like daytime. So I was thinking if I did 1 or 2 classes per week in the evening of the Your Teachable Moments. If I got like, say, 4 students, that would be great. Once a week or 2 times a week for 4 students, the same class. So tell me what you think. So I'm thinking bread making. The finger knitting is a really good class. I've been watching lots of videos on finger knitting and what you can make with it. You can make a chain. You can make a hat just with finger knitting. And so I'm hoping that that will turn into an ongoing class. Because my thing is, a lot of times we learn a skill, but we don't do it enough to actually get good at it, and it takes a lot of time. What will you do if one signs up for each section? Well, if one signs up for each section at the beginning, I might still do it, obviously. But the thing about OUTSCHOOL is you can cancel the classes. So if you only get 1 student for one day, but you have 2 on another day, you could maybe ask the student if they would switch. Or you can just do it and, you know, until you build up, you know. So it might, at the beginning when you're trying to build up your clientele, it might be a lot of teaching just 1 student if they want to do it. Like I had a knitting class with just 1 student the other day, and it was fine. I figured I will keep doing that until I have enough that I can do 1 class a day, until I have enough followers and enough people interested in my classes. And then I could scale it down to 1 a day and just say, well, I'm doing bread making on Monday, finger knitting on Tuesday, and just do 1 class each day. Or I could, if I had like 50 people that want to do bread making, I could do bread making every day, the same class. So I think that it's like kind of like throwing the net out there and seeing what you're going to catch. That's the way I'm looking at it. So I have finger knitting. I have basic like beginner knitting class. I have a 3-week just beginner knitting class where you sign up for the first week and then you just come for 3 weeks and just practice knitting. And then I have, you know, so I just want to meet people and see what what they want to keep doing. I figure like during bread making, I will talk about all the things we can make, and hopefully they'll want to come back for ongoing classes. And the bread making class I've taught home ec before, and I've done this before. So I always taught how to make the bread dough, and then we made different things. Usually I did it for a semester. So we did it for like 20 weeks in a row. So doing it for a online class, I'm going to have to tell them, bring your dough already made. So we'll start with making bread dough. And then the next classes will have to bring the dough already made, and then they'll have to finish up after class. Like say we make cinnamon rolls, we'll be able to roll them out, but we won't really have time to actually go through the whole process and cook them. So I'll just have to tell them to send me a picture of their final project. So, but I've taught these in class, and we only had 45 minutes in school. And so I kind of have an idea of how we did it there. So I would adapt it to the online thing. Your teachable moments, I'm going to do both the knitting, like beginner knitting and make a dishcloth. And I'm also going to do bread making, which I'm thinking would be an ongoing class, but I'm not exactly sure, depending on, like I have one class that I'm going to do. Oh, this is what I said before. I have a bread machine class that will be 2 weeks. And a lot of times people don't know all the great things you can do with the bread machine. So we'll talk about the bread machine, and that will last 2 weeks. And then if I have interest to continue that, you know, I can always make another class. Ongoing classes are not supposed to build. Okay. Well, the ongoing class will be like that class is going to be one class of its own, but yeah, they're gonna have to, I'm gonna have to put in the comments, like I said, bring your own dough. Well, what we've done before in my home ec classes is they don't necessarily have to make their own dough. You could bring thawed out frozen bread dough. So if you want to make your own homemade dough for the next class, or you could just bring your own, and I would have to put that in the description for the class. And so it was suggested that I would do, like for an ongoing class, maybe like 3 or 4 classes in a row, and I tell them exactly what's going to be in each class and exactly what you're going to need for that class. And so I could do that and then continue that, or rotate it like 4 classes in a row. And ongoing class also for the bread making, you can also make muffins, pancakes, tortillas, and all you really need is flour and water and, you know, baking powder, that kind of thing. So the biggest thing is the flour and maybe some butter. And so it wouldn't be hard as long as they have the flour and they have, you know, a stove. So it's really using the same ingredients every time. And like cinnamon rolls, you need frozen bread dough. Like pizza dough, if you say you want to make a pizza, that's a really good thing that you can make with bread dough. You could bring the pizza dough all made. Now, pizza dough you could make using your bread machine, or you could make your own from scratch, or you can also buy already made pizza dough. And so that would be the choice of the student. They come to class with the pizza dough of their choice. You could even buy the box and just add water, right? So there's lots of ways to bring your own pizza dough. But to make your own pizza, you can come with your dough, and then we will make the pizza during class. So you come with your dough, and you could even make pizza, like roll out your pizza crust, put it in the freezer for another day. Or you could roll out your pizza crust, cook it, and then freeze it. So there's different ways of, so I plan to talk about these things and streamline it for whatever students that I end up getting. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm hoping to do the bread making class for your teachable moments, and the knitting class, which I'm hoping that I can get some adults that want to make a dishcloth, because it's really the best way to knit and to have a small project that you can finish and feel like you were a success. So any other questions? Yeah, so I'm planning to do, so VIPKid, I am actually just keeping my regular schedule. Every now and then, if I don't get a booking, I just close out that slot, because I'm not pushing myself to do 100 classes. And I am trying to figure out OUTSCHOOL, and I do have a finger knitting class coming up with 5 learners in it, and my limit for the class is 6. So this was really cool because the parent saw my knitting class and they said, my student is 6. Do you think she would be okay to do your knitting class? And I said, well, does she learn quickly? Is she good at crafts? You know, some kids just catch right on. And she's like, actually, she's not. So she said, have you ever thought of finger knitting? You know, and I said, sure, I can do finger knitting. And I have done finger knitting before. So, and then I guess her kid is in a class. I'm not sure if they do virtual classes or if they actually go to school, but she sent the link to all her friends. So there are a lot of people in that class that are brand new to OUTSCHOOL. So that's really good too. So the parent actually did the advertising. And so I'm so excited. So I'm looking up stuff. That's why I made my little necklace with that's made out of finger knitting. And I have, this is some of my yarn. And for finger knitting, it's really good to use bulky yarn. And so I have different types of yarn that I'm using for teaching. And there are a lot of people that are interested in the basics of knitting. And I have one student in my like multi-day class of knitting. She did one beginner class and there's 3 weeks to it. So I hope she doesn't cancel because it was a little hard for her. But I told her, you have to just keep trying. You know, knitting is really determination. It's a lot of determination. And some people catch on to it easier than others. So I'm hoping that she'll stick with it. But it's really exciting, though, to see kids American kids that are all over the country. I have had kids from like California. I had 2 kids in one class from California, but they were different parts of the state. So that was really cool. And then I had like some southern states. Like one class that I had for knitting, we were all 4 corners of the states, like California, New Hampshire, and like, I don't know, what was it? Like Tennessee or something. And so it was really cool. And I also did a pet class. I also have a pet sharing class. And I will also be doing pet sharing on Wednesday, just on YouTube, and that's for free. So if you want to come on to do the pet sharing class with me, please let me know, Mindy. And Luann, I don't know, do you have a pet? A lot of the teachers have pets and we use them for classes. So I thought it would be fun to share all about our pets. And my last video, I was by myself. So I shared some of our pet stories from my own home. And I thought, boy, I even have more pet stories. Like a lot of animal stories in my past. I guess when you homeschool or when you're in quarantine, the animals become, you know, bigger than you notice when you're maybe a kid living life. And so, yeah, so I have a pet sharing class for OUTSCHOOL as well. And I had one class that booked a bunch of students. I have people that have saved it. You know, on OUTSCHOOL, it has how many people saved your classes. But I haven't had anyone else booked for that class. But I want to open up more sections. And so if anybody has any ideas on that, that's really been fun to just share stories and let the kids just share about their pets, because a lot of them, you know, maybe they have pets and they don't really get to talk about them to their friends or show them to their friends. They're just at home. And so we'll see how that goes. And I also have some ideas for math classes, and I'm just kind of watching what other people are doing. I teach all day Wednesday and Friday. Oh, okay. I can't go on YouTube. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Mindy. And I've watched your videos. Actually, did you see my last video? Not the last one, but before that. No, it wasn't on YouTube, actually. Okay, Mindy, I hope I'm not going to be in trouble, but I used part of your video of your little 3-legged dog in my OUTSCHOOL class. And I just showed them how special it was that he was, you know, had an accident and he's up and running and he's doing well. And I did show part of that video to the kids on OUTSCHOOL. That's what I did with it. I just was so impressed with it. It was really cute. And I hope that Frankie is still doing well. So Luann, I had a dog. I have a dog and recently just lost one. I would have been too sad. Oh, I know. I totally feel you. In my last video, I talked about our dog Clifford, and that dog was everybody's favorite dog. And on Facebook, that dog has its own Facebook page. My daughter just kind of silly her, you know, she made the dog a Facebook page, and it's called Clifford Bennett. And yeah, that was everybody's special dog. Clifford's been gone a while now, but we still love Clifford, and we cry when we think about it. So sorry to hear that you lost your dog. It's just so hard to lose animals. And I was not an animal person a lot when I was a kid, and my mom wasn't really an animal person. And when I became a parent, I was like, yeah, of course I want my kids to have animals, but whenever something happens to them, it's just so traumatic. I mean, one time we had a gerbil that escaped the cage and we never found it. That was really sad. Yeah, we have some sad stories that I can't even tell you because it's just too much. Not in trouble at all. That's awesome. Frankie is running around now like a maniac. You would never know she is a three-legged dog. That's so awesome. Well, the thing about it is I figured you wouldn't mind the extra watch time either on your video. I'm like, I can't believe this video isn't going viral. It is just such an awesome story. I was thinking that the dog would have to be put down. I didn't realize how well a dog could do with 3 legs. So I think that's really great. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming to this video. Do you have any other questions today? Now, I had a really great time with my level 7 student. And some of you that may have seen that I went on vacation a while back, and we went to the, it's called the, oh, what is it called? The Caverns. I have a picture of it here. Okay, this is where we went. And we went to the Luray Caverns in Virginia. This is the entrance. And my level 7 student, the one level 7 student that's a regular that I've had him for like 2 years, he's doing this series in level 7. I don't know the name of it, but it's something about caves. So he was doing something about caves, and I was able to show him. I just went this summer to the caves. Oh, and it was about the gold rush in California and all that. So I was able to show him these pictures of the Luray Caverns. It was just unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. And we weren't actually going to go to the caves. We had something else planned, but it rained. This is where the person who discovered the caves, he came in the hole there and he kind of slid down, and they made this staircase. For many years, people use that staircase to go into the caverns. But since they've made a different type of entrance. And so I was able to show my student this, these caves and these pictures. So it was pretty amazing. And the really, really, really amazing thing is that this organ was put in the cave. And the story is that it was an inventor. This is called the Great Stalactite organ. And my student plays the organ. Like, out of all the VIPKid students, I get a kid that plays the organ. I saw this organ. I didn't even know about this organ. I was just blown away at how I could share this information, and it all came together. I didn't even do it on purpose. But the inventor was Leland W. Sprinkle Sr. of Springfield, Virginia. And this man's genius and the hand of God are in perfect harmony. This was 1986. So what he did was he had to go throughout the cave, and he had to find stalactites, right? And he had to figure out which ones made which sound. And then he hooked up wires so that when you play the organ, the sound goes through the cave. And it's said to be the largest instrument in the world. And I just thought that was so cool. And I did play it for my student. The song is "A Mighty Fortress Is Our God." I don't know. I didn't really go online to see if there's a video, like a YouTube video maybe. It was a little faint in my video, but it was amazing. And it was so cool to show it to my student, I'm telling you. And it was way far in that cave. That guy had to, that was a lot of work. They said it took 2 years, but he's, it was just an amazing story. So I was able to tell my student, and I said, when things get better and people can travel, you need to come to Virginia and you need to go to that cave and see that organ. Yeah. And it is just amazing. And the sound is amazing. And when you go to the cave, you realize it wasn't a little ways. He had to go a ways into that cave. And to just think of it, it's like a pipe organ, but the pipes are the cave. Oh, you want me to play the song? Okay, I'll find it. And right now I am actually using no headset because my headset broke. So I've had to be teaching without my headset for the last little while, and I don't prefer it. Like, I want to get a headset, but I've been doing okay. So I taught on my iPad today without a headset too, because I switched really quick. And then I had my other student afterwards. And so here it is. Okay. Here's the video. So it was pretty amazing. And when you go with kids, they don't realize how amazing stuff is sometimes. But it was really weird. We were going to do something else, and my sister-in-law said, well, there's these caves. It's about an hour drive, but there's these caves, and I'm like, well, that's educational, and that would be interesting and fun. I did not realize how amazing it would be. I was so glad I went. And in the video I made about this, they also had like a climbing thing for kids, like you hook up to it and it's like this thing that you climb on like a monkey. That was pretty cool. And then they had an old car museum as well. And then across the street, they had like a little zoo, so we saw animals and stuff like that. So it was quite a place, and you have to pay to get in, but it was definitely worth the price. Stalagmites might reach to the top. Stalactites hold on tight. Okay. Yeah, my sister-in-law had a name for that too. I've only studied caves like maybe twice in my whole life, so it's hard for me to remember. So I'm not really, I would get claustrophobia if I had to like stay in a cave for a long period of time. I don't really like being in places. There were workers all along. I think the walk inside the cave was like a mile. It was a lot longer than I thought it would be. And it wasn't hard at all. There were some hills, but it was all like cemented. Like there was a walkway with railings and everything. So it wasn't like you were climbing or having to squeeze through little places or anything like that. But this organ, I had no idea it was there when we went in the cave. I didn't really read the brochure ahead of time, but I did get a book all about it, and so that I could, you know, remember it. I did take pictures, but they don't really do it justice. So it was really amazing, but it was just so awesome this week to show my student this organ. He plays the organ. I've heard him play it once. He plays really well. It's interesting music. It's not slow music. It's like really, really busy music. It's not rock music. It's definitely a Chinese type flavor to it. And it's pretty amazing. Just saying hi, but going for a walk. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you for watching. So I wanted to mention too, you can see in my picture here, this little thing I'm moving around. This is a little button that you can get on your iPad to do screenshots. So if you use your iPad for VIPKid and say you're, you know, you want to take screenshots, usually at the beginning, I would just use my phone and hold it up and just take a picture with my phone. But this is on the iPad users group. There is, whoops, there is a way that you can do this button, the Shenandoah Heritage Village. So, yeah, so you can just, you follow the steps on the iPad group, and then you get this button that goes on the front of your iPad. You can put it anywhere you want, and then you can take a screenshot just by touching it. So you just go screenshot. And so if you're doing classes and you want to take screenshots, that's a really easy way of doing it. So thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, thank you so much. And oh, and Casey has a video coming out. I don't know if any of you have sent her a video about changes for VIPKid. So I started making a list, and this is really really bad writing, but I made all these. I started writing them down, and I'm like, oh my goodness, there were a lot of changes for VIPKid in the last 2 years. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing what other teachers add to that video. And the last video, she did a great job. That one was all about, what was it? Oh, our setup. Our teacher setup, teaching setup. And I saw yours, Mindy. It was awesome, and I loved it. And Rebecca had a part in it. So those are really fun to see how Casey puts them together. Wow, I only thought of 3 things. Really, Kelly? Are you serious? Well, you'll have to watch the video. I try to make those kind of short because I don't want her to have to sift through a whole bunch of stuff. But mine ended up being 15 minutes long. And so I just told her, use whatever you want. She doesn't have to use anything that other people are repeating and that kind of thing. But yeah, I thought of a lot of them. Yeah. I don't know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. About 21 or more. So anyway, yeah, lots of changes, but I still love it. I still love VIPKid. I'm thankful that we can teach the kids. And so far it's consistent for me. You know, I haven't gotten consistent with OUTSCHOOL yet. So maybe once that gets going. I mean, if I do one OUTSCHOOL class with, say, 7, let's see, I'm doing 3 to 6 for the knitting. Say 6 kids, I'm doing $10, 6, that's 42. So that's 4 classes of VIPKid. So if I could do 2 OUTSCHOOLs a day, that will be more than I'm making per day of VIPKid. So that would be awesome. That would be really awesome. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. All right, guys, I think I am gonna call it a day, and I look forward to seeing all the videos you guys make. Kelly, I didn't get to see your video live last time, but I will watch the playbacks as I can because I'm trying to do homeschool and other activities as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.